Hi everybody and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a tutorial on the Physicians Formula 80th anniversary eyeshadow quad in Smoky Plum, and I'm going to let you know what I think of that, and you'll be able to see how I got this look. And I'm also going to do a new combination for me using a combination of these two of my favorite foundations, the Lancome Tint Miracle, of course, and the Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation. One is very matte and the other one is a dewy finish, so I will let you know what I think of this combination. And yeah, so if you want to see how I got this look, then please keep watching. So I'm going to start with my current favorite foundation, which is the Lancome Tint Miracle. I don't know if I pronounced that right, I'm sure I butchered that. Tint Miracle. Which is a oxynoxalate sunscreen, broad spectrum, SPF 15, lift from within makeup, natural skin perfection. So this provides a very dewy finish. It's very full coverage, very natural finish, but lately I've been finding it's a little bit more dewy than I like, so I'm going to try mixing it with my Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation, and this is a very matte foundation. I'm using color 2.5, and I'm gonna mix those two together with maybe, I think I'm gonna use 2 pumps of the Lancome and then half a pump of the Urban Decay. And then I'm going to mix them together just with my finger and apply a little bit on my face. Both of these foundations are very full coverage, so a little bit goes a very long way. So I'm going to start off with that, and I will use my Real Techniques foundation brush. Maybe dip a little bit in there and see how it goes. Whoa. Yeah, this is very full coverage. We'll see if this combination of foundations works. I've never tried it before, so I don't know how it's going to turn out. I'm going to apply a little bit more just around my chin, nose, cheeks area where I have the most discoloration and spots to cover up. See how it builds. The Urban Decay All Nighter is not really formulated to be a buildable foundation because it's so full coverage already. They say not to build it up. So, but because I only used a tiny amount of it, it should be okay because the Lancome is buildable. Yeah, I think that gives me a pretty nice coverage. Very natural finish still, not too matte. Just go smooth it over a little bit with the beauty sponge. Okay, yeah, I think I like that. I think it looks good. So moving on now to concealer. So I'm just going to use my L'Oreal Infallible Concealer. This is sort of a peachy tone, this color that I have, which I can't see what the color is on here, but it's one of the lighter ones, obviously. And I just put that in the corners here to do a bit of color correcting. And yes, it does sting my eyes a little bit, which is baffling. I don't know why it does that. Probably there's alcohol in it. But it does go away. The first time I used this and it was stinging my eyes, I freaked because I thought that I had perhaps gotten a tampered packaging, that there was like someone had poisoned it or something. So I was like, oh my god. So I went online immediately to look and see if anyone else had experienced the same thing, and sure enough, everyone has. So luckily what I had was not a tampered poison package. And it just baffles me that anyone would make a concealer that would actually sting the eyes of the person applying it, but it does actually do a pretty good job of color correcting for me. But I do apply the Tarte Shape Tape foundation over top of it, mainly for highlighting purposes, and because it is a little bit light for my skin tone. So I just put it in the little areas where I like to emphasize, because highlighting emphasizes, brings forward. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but my ring light, which is a homemade ring light made with rope lights, is it's starting to strobe. And yes, I'm talking about strobing, but not, I didn't expect strobing via lighting. Strobing via makeup is really all I was going for here. Okay, so I'm just blending that Tarte Shape Tape in with the beauty sponge, just very lightly. The Tarte Shape Tape blends so easily that there isn't a lot of blending that needs to get done. So I just put it in my jawline here, just to kind of, because I do need a stronger, I'd prefer to have a stronger jawline, and it just provides a little bit of a highlight to that section of my jaw. So that's the foundation and concealer done. Now I'm going to prime my eyes, and of course, as usual, I'm using my MAC Soft Ochre paint pot. It seems to do the best job for me. It doesn't accentuate the texture on my eyelids the way some other ones do and some concealers do. It doesn't crease the way concealers do, so you can put it on and not have to worry about powdering it right away. And it provides a nice blank canvas for applying your eyeshadows and really makes them pop, because it evens out all the discoloration if you have any. I have some veins that show through my eyelids and a bit of sort of brown, and it evens that all out so that my eyeshadow goes on and produces the true color that it was meant to show. So next I'm going to just do a little bit of powder on my eyelids, and my current favorite powder is the translucent Fair Light powder, Prime and Stay Finishing powder from e.l.f. And as you can see, I've hit pan already. I use this every single day, and I only use it under my eyes, and I just put a tiny little bit, and it helps stops the concealer from creasing without changing the color of the concealer. And then I just put a little bit over my eyes as well. I know I said you don't really need to worry about powdering the MAC paint pot, but I do anyway, just so that the shadows that I use glide over more smoothly. And then for the rest of my face, I'm going to use a little bit of the loose finishing powder of Maybelline Fit Me in Fair Light, shade number 10. And it's just this one. I really love this packaging, because the lid only takes a quarter of a turn and then it comes off. It's so easy. You're not constantly having to twist the lid. It just saves time. Anything to save time in doing makeup is great for me. So I just take a little bit and pop that on the areas where I do get oily, and that is my forehead. And I'm just patting it because I don't want to move around the foundation if it's not fully dry yet. And my nose, any areas where there was concealer or where you get oily. And with what's left on the brush, I just kind of very, very lightly sweep it, because again, you don't want to move around your foundation, because it's probably not fully dry at this point in time. And then to close it up, see how easy? You just go click and it's closed. So I love that. Okay, so at this point in time, now that the foundation, concealer, and the eye priming is done, I will put on my eyebrows. Okay, so now that the brows are done, I'm going to move on to my eyelids, and I'm going to do a plum smoky eye using the new Physicians Formula 80th anniversary quad, and this is the Smoky Plum quad, and I just found it the other day, and I wasn't looking for eyeshadows at all, so but I thought I would pick it up because I've never used a Physicians Formula eyeshadow before, and I do like some of their other products, so I thought I would try it and see if I like this one. And I did use this yesterday, so this is not a first impression. But I just wanted to swatch these for you. I don't know if you can see, but see, these are incredibly pigmented, and I'm dying to put them on. I wasn't quite thrilled with the look I got yesterday, so I'm gonna try it again today. The irony, of course, is that yesterday I wore this look and I wasn't happy with it. I was going to take it off, and then I was in the liquor store buying a bottle of wine, and the cashier started complimenting me on my makeup and asked me what products I used and everything, so it's never happened to me before. So that was kind of fun, especially considering I was almost going to remove it and try something else. So I decided to do a tutorial on that look today, and I'm just gonna start off with a neutral color from my Carly Bible palette. I'm gonna use this color here, which is a really nice base color that I use a lot when I'm doing any eyeshadow look. Just gonna clean my brush off first. So I just sweep this over the entire lid, starting from the brow bone and go down. Okay. Then I'm going to start off with this brown shade here and use that as the transition color. I have hooded eyes. As you can see, my mobile lid is very small. It's only from here to here. Where that crease is, that's the mobile lid, because it's the part that moves. The rest of it is the hood over my eye, and as you can see, when I open my eyes, you can't really see the crease anymore because it's hooded by the hood. And so what I do for my hooded eyes is I create sort of a fake crease effect by putting a darker shade right where I would like my crease to be. And I aim for part of the hooded area. I have a lot of space to work with. Not everyone has this much space, but I use this space here so that you can see the dark shade when my eye is open. And because the darker shades give the effect of receding, it provides sort of a shadow or a contouring effect. And I start off with a very little bit of shadow, and then I add more until I get the intensity of color that I want. For hooded eyes, and really for most eyes, I place the majority of the color on the outer corner, the outer third of the eyelid. So that is the transition shade. I'm going with a fairly light, wearable smoky eye look today because I do have to run around and do some errands. And I forgot to mention the brush I'm using is from Still Spa Essentials, and it is a eyeshadow blending brush 006. And I have about 3 of these. I love them. I use them all the time. Okay, so that's the transition color on now. And it seems to be very nice and creamy. There's a little bit of kick up in the palette, but there's no fallout on my face from it, which is great. So, I mean, I don't really care about kick up. It seems to be creamy and blendable, not as pigmented as it appeared to be on my fingers. So as you can see, I've been layering quite a bit and it's still quite light. But again, it is a lighter color. It's meant to be a transition shade. So the next color I'm going to go in with using the same brush is this color here. And it is a matte color. And this I'm just going to pop into the outer corner. Whoa! Yeah, it's very pigmented, this one. Okay, so I've laid down the matte contour shades, and now I'm going to go into, let's see, I'm gonna go into this. I'm gonna go into this purple shade right here with a flat brush like this that I use as a packing brush. And it's from Urban Decay. It actually came with my Urban Decay Naked 2 palette, and I love it. I use it all the time. So, whew, look at that. So where do I want to put it? Let's start here, because we're doing a smoky eye. I'm just gonna kind of map out where I want the pigment to go. And I'm just packing that on with a flat brush. And now I'm going to use the more sparkly shade, which is this one here, and I'm going to use my finger. It's very crumbly, and I have this feeling I'm going to get a lot of fallout from it, but here we go. And I'm going to place that in the center of my lid and hope that there isn't too much fallout. No fallout. Boom. Look at that. That is just beautiful. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a really dark plum, sparkly shade. Exactly what I was going for. I'm actually going to spray my brush with a little bit of setting spray just to dampen this brush, and I'm going to use that in the same shade and pack on a little bit more so I get a little bit more precision in terms of where the product is going, because my finger is not, it's a great tool for applying makeup, but it's not very precise. Here we go. Okay. I think that's what I was going for. A little bit above, because I have hooded eyes, it's a little bit above my natural crease so that when I open my eyes, you can see it a little bit. But it creates a really nice effect when looking down or blinking. Okay, now I'm gonna go back in with a little bit more of the two matte shades. I'm gonna actually mix the two and pop that into the outer corner, the outer third again. Okay, and now just sort of blend the edges a little bit, so that they're not too harsh. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it like that and move on to my other eye. So next I'm going to highlight the brow bone and the inner corner of my eye, and in going with the theme of drugstore products, I'm going to use one of my favorite drugstore highlighters, the Physicians Formula. This is the warm nude eyeshadow, not eyeshadow, but it's the brick highlighter palette. And I'm going to just use the little tiny little pencil brush end of my Anastasia brush that came with my Anastasia palette, and I'm going to go in with one of the pinky shades from the brick here and just pop that in to the brow bone. With hooded eyes, you just want to keep that highlight right at the top under the brow, because the highlight will actually highlight your hood, which you don't want. You just want it high up just to lift the eye. Okay. Just need to blend these edges a little bit more. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. liquid eyeliner and draw a small wing. Again, with hooded eyes, because the mobile lid is so tiny, I tend to just draw a very thin line, because a thicker line would take up the entire mobile lid. And the wing has to go below the hood, otherwise it will get folded. And I will do a more in-depth tutorial for hooded eyes in a separate video. Then I go in with my Marcel Forever Sharp eyeliner pencil in black, and I just tightline really close to the lashes so that the space between the liner and the eyeball doesn't show a big gap color-wise. So it just sort of, this is great if you're wearing glasses that magnify your eyes. I always suggest tight lining, because it brings your eyes, it makes your eyes a little bit smaller. Okay, so the eyes are done. I may go back and do a little bit of shadow under the eyes. I haven't quite decided yet. Given that it is a smoky eye, I think I will. I just decided right now. So I'm just looking for a brush. Okay, I have a fluffier brush than that. Okay, so I'm going to use my EcoTools brush. I don't know which brush this is because the writing is completely worn off. I use it so much, but I'm going to use this tiny little end here, this teensy little blending brush, and I'm just going to grab a little bit of this brown shade and pop that under the eye. And of course now I'm messing up my lashes. Okay, so that's the eyes done for now. Next, I'm going to use my NYX Contour Palette, Highlight and Contour Pro Palette, this one here. And I'm just going to use my little brush that came with my Hoola Light bronzer, and I'm going to dip it into the cool tone brown shade right here, and just use that as the contour. And I apply the contour pretty much just from this area here, the top of my ear, and I bring it down following my natural cheekbone to the edge of my eyebrow or eye, right about there. Because for me, if I bring it any further down than that, it just drags my face down because my face is already dragging down right here. Because, you know, I'm not 20 anymore. So I need it to be higher up to bring my face up. Then I'm going to use my fluffy powder brush from Precision Beauty, and this is a really nice face brush, and I tend to use this for contouring and bronzing mostly. So for bronzing, I'm just going to take a little bit of that contour shade from this palette and a little bit of this darker contour shade and tap that off. And just pop that onto my forehead. I have a pretty large forehead, so this is a step I always do. It just provides a little bit of dimension so I don't have this big white forehead up here. Again, remember the dark colors recede and the bright colors bring forward. So if I have a smaller bright area here and this area is shaded, then then my forehead won't be such a prominent feature of my face. Last but not least, I am going to go in with my Becca highlighter in Moonstone. Still my favorite, and you can see I've hit pan on this one. I use it pretty much every single day. And I'm just gonna go in and pop a little bit of highlight on my cheekbones. Just at the top here, because no matter what highlighter I use, it does accentuate the texture of my skin a little bit, and I do have some texture in this area and some very fine lines, and highlighters do accentuate any fine lines, pores, texture that you may have. And for blush, I'm using my Glamorous Blush 10 Color Blush Palette by BH Cosmetics. Palette here. I'm just going to use this light pink color here. And just pop that onto sort of a pinky mauve. Now for lips, I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude Lip Liner Pencil. And I don't know if I'm actually going to get any off because I should have sharpened it before doing this video. But let's see. Oh. And for my lip color, I'm going to use a new Rimmel lip color that I just got, and it's called Stay Matte Liquid Lip Color. And it is in the lightest shade that they had. I can't read the shade that it is, but it's really pretty, nice nude color, long lasting. So hi everyone, this is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial and found it helpful for those of you with hooded eyes, or for anyone looking to decide whether or not to purchase the Physicians Formula Smokey Plum Quad. I really like it, and I think the look I made today was even better than yesterday. So I'm definitely going to wear this again. And the foundation combination that I came up with was actually quite nice. It's looking good. although I've only had it on for not very long, but based on what I'm seeing right now, it's got a really nice finish. It's very full coverage, and it's not too matte, it's not too dewy, and it's a really good color match for me. So I think I'm going to try this combination again as well. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you want to see more tutorials like this, then please subscribe. I will be, now that I've got my computer fixed, I'm hoping to be able to do more tutorials. I wasn't able to film for a little while because I needed a new utility for my monitor to work. So now that that's working, I'm hoping to do at least one video a week. And I've got a haul coming up from BH Cosmetics that I can't wait to receive, and I'm going to do an unboxing and hopefully a demo as well with the products that I got through that. I've got a few more tutorials planned for the City Mini palettes that I also purchased when I got the Physicians Formula. So I'm hoping to do a tutorial with each of these palettes to let you know my first impressions. I haven't used these before, I've just swatched them a little bit. They seem to be pretty nice, so I'm going to do a tutorial on these. And I've got lots of other things on the way as well, as long as my computer keeps working and I can figure out why my camera keeps stopping recording in the middle of recording. So I really hope this tutorial ended up being a full-on tutorial and not just like half of one. But anyway, we'll see when I start editing. So thanks again for watching. If you want to see more of these, press subscribe and hit the little subscription bell up at the top so that you are notified whenever I upload a new video. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!